Hello, I have another video for you today from Tonic Studios, and this is one of their March Madness promotions, and it's called the Fantastic Ferris Wheel. So I have all the dies, there are 25 in this set. I have them all out on my big magnetic stand just ready to roll here. I'm going to give you a quick look through what's in the set, and then I'm going to just start making something, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. It looks really lovely. Well, in between that last clip and this one, I have been away and done some die cutting, lots and lots of die cutting, and as if by magic, I've even got my first Ferris wheel made. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So I'll just give you the measurements of it right now before I forget. It is 25 centimetres, 25 and a half from the top to the bottom here, and 20 centimetres wide here, not in, you know, those little compartments when they're all tucked in. 12 and a half centimetres across this way and 8 centimetres across this way. Well, I learned an awful lot while I was doing that. So I'll be able to give you lots and lots of tips to make it a lot easier for you, and I'll be right back in a moment or two to tell you all of those. First of all, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to keep you up to date with all of these, because I have lots more things coming. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this, give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment, because that always helps me know what you like, and it always helps me know what kind of content to bring you in the future as well. Now, back to this again. I have all these pieces cut, and as you can see, I've used mirror card in this one, and I don't think I would advise that if you're a newbie, if you're not very experienced, because there was a lot of patience required just to hold that in place. That has turned out really, really well, and I'm really happy with it. But if you're just learning, or if you're just making your first one, I certainly would only put mirror card in smaller areas like I have done on this bit. That's the first tip, but there'll be lots more coming and I really hope you enjoy this. I've picked out mauve purple and some berry fizz glitter card, some teal card, and then some white in stiffer card, so that would be 300 GSM. And this time I'm just going to talk you through this because I don't normally like to just cut everything out right away and then start assembling after that, because I always think if there's lots and lots of pieces to cut out and assemble, well, once I've got enough to assemble one part, then I sort of feel like I've got some progress made. And I think that sort of helps in a biggish project like this, because there actually is quite a lot of cutting out to do. So you'll notice whenever you look in the little instructions that are in the set that you get, this die piece here needs to be cut out 24 times. So I don't want to spend 24 times turning that through my machine. So what I do is I'll pick out a piece that needs to go through, and then I'll see what else is left on the A4 size that's going to go through my tangerine plate at the same time, and I will put one of these in every time I'm doing a full die cut of a sheet. So first of all, I've got this one, and this is being cut out in mauve purple. I have it here, so that's the back of it there. So this one has got to be cut out 6 times, and the reason for that is to give a lot of stability to the actual structure that holds up the Ferris wheel. And so if that fits through on one time, I'll always be putting this one through as well, and anything else that I want to use in that colour. So for instance, on this here, I've also used this little die because I knew I wanted to add this decorative piece in the same colour. So that will go through, and mainly I'm thinking at this stage I want to actually cut this piece here, but it's a bit of a bonus whenever I have another one of these cut out. And before you know it, you'll soon have a little pile of those, and you'll be sort of smiling and thinking, right, we've got lots more progress made than I actually intended or expected. So we've got this one here then is going to be the outside edge. I've cut 2 of those and folded them back at the bottom here, and then as you can see, that's this one. There is a detail die as well, a flat one with no detail on it, and I've cut that out twice in white, and that would be this one. And then I have used the same die along with this one, and I've cut the pattern out to go on top of that, and you can see there I've already gone ahead and glued it on there, and that's in teal. So I'm going to glue that one then onto here, and as you can see then I've already done that on this one. And then I took a little piece of this berry fizz and I just popped it in behind here, and got my, all I did was cut a small piece and put it in behind that and ran it through the die cutting machine again when there was something else going through, and I got myself a little heart, and I've done that twice, and I'm just going to paper piece that in there. I just glue this on here. You can let me know in the comments how you go about die cutting a big project like this. Would you just spend all your time getting everything cut out first and then assembling at the end? Or like me, do you sort of like to see a bit of progress at the start and then just keep moving along with it? So there are the two pieces. I've also cut the same first die, so that's this one, out 2 more times in this mauve purple, and I've also cut it out twice in white. There and there. And you can see on these two, sorry, on these 4, the 2 white and the 2 mauve purple, I've cut off the folding, the glue tab here on it. And that's because these are going to be added as reinforcements, but I want to go ahead and make this up now. So I have cut out the base in white and mauve purple. This white is 300 GSM, so it's really good for stability. I've used this little die and I've cut those out again there. And then I used this one in white again because it's nice and strong, and I've cut that out twice and reinforced all these score lines, and this little decorative one then in the mauve purple to match in with all of this. So I've now got my base and then these 2 sides, and I'm going to glue that by the glue tabs on there. So I'll just run the glue along there first of all, and then we can add those little sides on, and this goes together really quickly. Now these are the pieces that will all fold up and go together to make this little base. And now I can go ahead and reinforce these side panels. So that's when you start using these pieces that you've cut the glue tabs off. And I'm going to put my white piece in there. It doesn't actually matter what colour that is if you don't see it anyhow. But I'm going to put it in there, and then I'll glue this one on top of that. I'll do the same on the other side. Put this one on top of that, and then I'll glue these little panels in, and we'll soon have this assembled. Then I can go ahead now and glue in my little panel, the little coloured one, into the base, and that covers all those little base tabs. You can see here the way the white tabs are showing on the side there, and I'm not too bothered about that because they're very short and it doesn't really matter, but I could actually have glued this one on after I put the side tabs on, and that would have covered those as well, but I just wanted to show you that. I wanted to point it out so that if that bothers you or whatever, you can actually go ahead and cover that. Or you could, as I have done in this one, keep the side panels and the front and back panels all in the one colour, and then you can't see any tabs inside there at all. But I know that once the Ferris wheel gets attached to this, that will be not, it won't be very visible and it won't matter anyhow. Carrying on with the theme of trying to get as much through this machine as possible in one go, you are actually going to need 2 of these for every little carriage, and they go together like this, but put that through when you're still carrying on with this one, and then you're going to need these to go right round the outside of both of the wheels, this one and the other little decorative piece if you're going to put it on as well, that's this one, and just put those all through at the one time, and then this one as well, because these are the little pieces that need to go on here. So you'll need 2 of these and 2 of these to decorate every little carriage. So again, to save time, just put as many of these through at the same stage. And then another little thing that I forgot to mention was, while you are die cutting all of these, on that larger piece you'll have lots of these little hearts, and on this one you'll have smaller hearts, and I just hold on to all of those because I'll soon have a little collection of hearts that I can use for something else as well. So that's just another little tip as we're on our way through this. Now I'm going to go on to assembling the wheels. So you're going to need 12 of these pieces for each wheel, so that's 6 on one side and 6 on the other, and I'm going to do mine in different colours. So you can see from this one that I've used gold on one side, and then on the inside I've used this lilac colour. I think that was soft lilac. And on this one I'm going to use the mauve purple on one side and the white on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and glue all these together. You don't need to bend those glue tabs back, they're just guidelines for where you put the glue. And glue that on there, keeping an eye as you do it here, because this will form a kind of little circle in the centre, and you'll know you've got that lined up if you can see that that's coming together correctly there as well. And we'll just go ahead and glue that together, and obviously then I'm going to make 4 of those. If you do by any chance go ahead and use the mirror card like I've done in this one here, I've actually got a full blog post on this which I'll link below down in the description, but I found it really helpful to glue this together this way, but because the glue took so long to dry on mirror card, I turned this over and put double-sided tape. I didn't pull the backing off, but just put it across there as well to hold it, and that made it a lot easier. So if you do go ahead, just keep that in mind. That should be very helpful. Now, I've got one of these ready as well, because obviously this is going to be on the inside, and then this is the one that's going on the front of my card, my large stand. So I've got all these little pieces cut for in here, and there's also a die there that you can use. Now, I haven't used it on any of mine so far. It's this one, and that would cut out a solid panel in there, but I actually quite like seeing through that, so I haven't used this one at all, but I have used these. Now there are 2 different thicknesses in this. I'm using the quite thick one there, so I'll show you the difference actually just before I go ahead. We've got this one and this one where the detail is finer, and if you have a look on the packaging you'll be able to see that you can actually layer these up, and you'll have 2 different stages and 2 different levels of pattern here, and you'll be able to see it through here. But I've gone for the thicker one because I just like how that shows through there. Now on my gold one I have actually embossed this little detail in here, because you can see those are the ones I didn't use. You can see here there's a little heart for embossing, and I'm not going to do it on this one, but I'll show you how I did do it. I have just kept the die cut in the die there, and then taken my little embossing tool, and when you put your stylus in there you'll be able to feel where that little heart is, and when you bring that out you'll have a little embossed heart, and it saves you actually putting your embossing plate and everything right through again. Anyhow, I am just going to go ahead and glue these in. So you'll need 2 of them for each section the whole way around here on both of your lilac or mauve wheels. So if you turn it over, this is the best way I have found to do this anyhow. I'm going to add some glue just around the area where that will go. It's very fine, so the precision nozzle is fantastic for this. Down in there, and hopefully you can see that well enough. And down here, you don't need an awful lot of glue. This is good glue and it holds really well, but you don't need to add an awful lot of it. And then I've got this one, and you lay that on there, and you can sort of see that it will come just above this heart, but this little teardrop area here and below the heart. So before that the glue starts to dry on that one, just flip it over, and then you'll be able to see from this side if you need to make any adjustments. So you can, I did there actually, just move that around a little bit until you get that right, and there it is. Oops, there it is. And you'll be able to see that it's all lined up properly there. And then the bottom one is just the same. You can see the distance there. It's again, you just put glue around here and here, and obviously there's a gap here, so you don't need it down there, just along there. And right side facing out, of course, as well. And there you are, and you can work your way the whole way around that as well. I've got this wheel all ready now, and then this one is ready as well, and I've also got my two white ones as well. So when I started making this, I absolutely intended to put it like this, and this would be the outside of the wheel. But when I look at that, I actually really like the white with this showing through, and like this on the inside, so I think I'm going to go with that. Now the next step then is to take this die and this one, and you'll need to cut one of the long bars, one of these ones, and 6 of these ones, because these are the little bars that go through the top of the little stand, and then you'll slip the little carriages onto that. So I've already got some of them made up, and the thing to remember is to keep these edges pointing out like that, and don't be folding them over and gluing them up. That is really important. So all you need to do for this is actually just score all those little lines, fold them over, put glue on this edge here, and when you've got 6 of those and 1 of these, then you're good to go. But do remember, don't fold those little edges in and glue them down just yet. Now you'll take whichever piece of your wheel is facing inwards. So in my case this is the decorated one, in your case it will probably be the plain one, and it's only the decorated one in mine because I've just changed my mind. So I am going to thread these all through here. The short strips then, the little bars, will go right through from the unfinished edge, and you just push them through there. And you'll want that right up to the glue tabs, and open those little glue tabs there, and do that the whole way around there. And then when you get that finished, you'll glue those little tabs down as well, and that will keep them all firmly in place there. Do that the whole way around, and then you'll glue this piece directly on top of that, and that sandwiches these little pieces inside. It holds those bars really securely, and then you'll be able to cover this here with the little dots that you will have cut out as well. You'll notice there that I have kept a flat edge up towards the top where this nicks in each time, and that will be facing upwards each time the wheel moves around. And I've also kept the little join facing inwards to the centre of the wheel as well, and that keeps it all nice and tidy. So now when I've got all of that on my inside of the wheel, I'm going to turn that over, and then I can glue this one directly on top. And that covers all of this up, keeps it all nice and secure, and tidies it all up. Next you'll take this little die and cut that out 3 times, and that will give you 12 of these little small circles. And I wanted to introduce a little bit of pink into mine this time, so I have cut that out in pink, and that will get glued on here the whole way around, and that will just cover up the little hole that's here and add that lovely little decorative detail as well. At the same time, whenever I decided to put this little piece of pink in, I actually took this die again and put some pink card in behind this area and cut out these two little pieces here, so you can see them on my desk here, and I thought that would be really nice just to paper piece into here. So I've got two of those as well, and I thought that would just be a nice little extra colour to add in there. And I'm going to do that on both sides as well. As I said earlier, whenever you come to make the little carriages, then you're going to use this die and cut that out twice for each carriage, and then these little decorative dies, and that will cut out the little panels for here, and you'll need two of each for each of the little carriages. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and reinforced all those little score lines, and then all you need to do is put glue on the bottom of one of these and attach the two together, and that gives you the little carriage. Just check that and make sure it's all in the right place before you go ahead and attach these pieces, and then you can glue the sides together. Although this is actually 300 GSM card, I find that I thought these little areas needed a little bit of reinforcement, and I've also done it on the other one as well. Even that was 216 GSM, but I'm still going to do it here. I'm going to reinforce that, so I've taken this die again, and for each of the carriages I've just set some card in behind this area, so you don't even need to cut these pieces out. And any of these little tabs here, you can just go inside that line, just slightly inside it, because that will make it a snugger fit, and right up there, cut that off, and then just inside that score line as well. And then I'm going to go ahead now that this is all glued together and put glue on this and attach it in there, and that makes this a lot more stable. It's just this little area, but it holds it much better if you pop the whole bit in, and there you are. You can see there that it's very easily done, and it also has the added benefit that it covers some of the little glue tabs inside. They're not very visible anyway, but it definitely helps to make these little areas a lot more secure. And then you can go ahead and you'll need 6 of these. Now for the fun part of adding the little carriages on. So just turn this upside down so that these are all facing upwards, and thread a little carriage onto each of these little bars. And now you can go ahead then and add this piece into the centre. So this is the part, as you can see there, that's going to face inwards, and it might actually be the plain one in yours, but just follow the same route, the same way that you've done this one on the other side. So this facing inwards and this facing inwards, and thread those all up through here. Now what you want to do this time again is put glue on each of these little tabs, and once this goes through here, you'll bend those back and adhere them on here. And then when you've all of that done, you'll just do exactly the same as what you've done on the other side. Those will then all be attached the whole way around and glued nicely, and then you'll cover all of that up with this piece here on the top to finish it. And then you can add the little small circles on top of that. So I always put these in through this first of all before I add the glue, because that way then it doesn't mess up on the inside and give you some glue sticking through there. So I've got it like this, and I'll add the glue there, and just to stabilise it I'm going to put one through there as well. this is where it gets all very, very exciting because we're going to put it all together. So you'll need to take this little die and cut that out twice. So I've done that and I've cut it out in white. And then you take your long bar and thread one of them through the long bar, or the long bar through one of those, whichever sounds best to you. And then you'll take your little stand. So I find it really, really helpful just to fold all of these in on the opposite end there so they don't get caught on the way. But you've got this ring through here, and then pop that through one of the sides of the stand like that, and then take your large wheel, pop it into the centre, smooth that back a bit, and then put the bar through the centre of that, right through the other side. It comes out there, and then out through here, like so, and then through the other ring at this end. Just like that. Now you'll want to add glue to the back of those tabs, just the way we did on the small bars inside. Just like that. Slip this ring up and fold those back. Have this little decorative circle here, and I've cut that out twice in the pink again, and I'm going to glue that directly on top of there. There's also a handle piece here as well, so I've actually cut that out 3 times in white because I wanted to make it really sturdy, and then I put some glitter card on top, and I'm going to glue that on here. And it does cover up this lovely pink, but that doesn't really matter because I've still got that on the other side. And then this will connect, and once the glue's dry, and not a moment before it, don't try to turn that around because obviously it won't have stuck properly and you'll make a little mess of it. Wait till that's dried and you'll be able to turn the handle. How amazing does that look? And when you've got it to that stage, you will be so happy and so proud of yourself. And why not? It's absolutely beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've really loved putting that together, and love the colours, but you could use whatever colours you like. Let me know what colours you would like. I love these little carriages, the way they all just move around and swing there. It's really, really beautiful, and that would be really, really lovely, full of treats or full of just whatever. In fact, little cupcakes or something, but something not too heavy. Although this is actually a lot more sturdy than you would think. It's got lots of extra layers of card, and then if you use sturdy card in here for the little bars and whatnot, that will just work a treat. This is just a little edit into the end of the video here. So this is the one that I have just made, and then you can also see this one in my blog post. So if you want to sort of look at both of these, you can see the step-by-step photographs. If there's anything that you're not too sure of, that's all in there making this one. And then this is just a little gift box or whatever. It's actually just one of the carriages, but instead of lining it with the plain paper inside, I've lined that with glitter card to match the decoration on the front there, and that would make a lovely little gift box for, well, something, a small treat or whatever. But I've also got a second video which I hope you'll like to have a little look at as well, because you know how I like to give you as many uses as possible for your die set. So this one is a little gift box. You can see here when you move it round, you'll be able to open it up. I've used magnets at the top for closure, but this opens and closes, and you've got the little bar up at the top here for holding it on, and I've added a little tag as well. So I hope you like that as well. But the link to that video will be down below, and just have a wee look at that and let me know what you think too. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Thanks very, very much for watching, and I will have my affiliate links to all of the products that I've used down below in the description, so don't forget to check those out there if you like. And I really appreciate everybody who uses those, because I get a little commission from it, but it doesn't cost you anything extra at all. So as well, if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do that. Hit the notification bell so you'll see lots more videos coming up. And don't forget, if you have enjoyed this, give it a big thumbs up and let me know. That's always very encouraging. And I would really, really love you to leave me a little comment down below as well. So until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.